I'm Kristen, this is Fabio, and this is our dog Yoda. We're looking for adventure and freedom in harbors unknown, but for now, we're starting in our own backyard. We sold our dream home of 16 years that we remodeled with love and attention to every detail, along with most of our possessions, and moved on to our catamaran Wanderlust across the canal. We're a couple of dreamers with a longing to explore the world's natural wonders, food, and cultures. To live by the wind, current, and the sun. Click the subscribe button to come along for the ride.
Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of this tour of our Seawind 1600. This is more like a technical part of the sailing and navigation component and the instruments and systems. We'll start with the engine. The engines, there's 2 engines. They're located aft in both amas. They can be accessed by opening these hatches. And the engines are 280 horsepower Yanmars. It's an upgrade. The boat can come with a 57 or the 80. Inside, the engine compartment is pretty large. Here we have our Spectra watermaker. It's a Cape Horn 330. We used it a couple of times and it makes about 16 gallons an hour, about 60 liters. It works nicely, runs on batteries. If the sun is strong, you can use solar energy to make water. Otherwise, when you run the engine, or you can run the generator. Here's the engine, easily accessible, self-drive. Obviously brand new, so very clean. You can access all the impellers and change the oil very easily with the filters, very accessible. This boat comes with an additional alternator that is dedicated to charge the house batteries, and it's really like a powerhouse and puts out a lot of current and charges the batteries very rapidly. This is the engine start batteries, the engine battery, and systems are about everybody who sails recognizes the filters for the diesel and filters for the rakers. And one thing worth mentioning is the autopilot, which is solid stainless steel, really sturdy. The starboard engine is also, of course, same size Yanmar, 80 horsepower. And on this side we have a water heater unit which works fantastic, very warm showers. Otherwise, same configuration, a lot of room to walk around. This space we will place our diving tank or diving compressor here when we get to it. The Seawind 1600 has 2 helm stations. In our boat, the helm station on the port side has the main chart plotter, which is a Zeus 3 BNG. Also has the controls for the engine. Starting the engine is a breeze. You push the power button and then you push the start stop and the engine is started. At this point you walk over to the engine to ensure that water is coming out, and then you start your port side engine. Same way. Power, start stop, and the engine is on. This boat has dual electronic control that allows to control the engine from the port and the starboard side. You can switch by using this selector. Especially when you dock, it's very convenient to control the engines from the side where you're approaching the dock.
The visibility from the helm station is amazing.
This boat has dugget boards, and I'm not going to talk about the controversy about dagger boards and no dagger boards, but this one has it and we love them. Dagger boards in this boat are hidden, which is great. You don't see them, they don't cause any windage. And I will show you how they go down and up. The boards can be brought up and down through this continuous line. It's really easy. Now, I'll see. With the boards down, the boat has 8.6 feet of draft. Boards up and the rudders up, the boat has 2.1 feet of draft, which is basically you can go almost anywhere and is beachable. The rudder also comes up and down in this boat. Let me show you how it's done. That's how easy it is. These are self-floating, so they can be taken up by with one hand, my good hand, not with bad hand. One of the comforts of the boat is the generator. We have a Fisher Panda 10,000i, which is very, very quiet. It is needed to run the washer and dryer and the electric oven. Here is the anchor windlass. It's an old chain. The anchor chain is not exposed. It comes out to the bow and is attached to a bridle. This boat comes with a carbon bowsprit, which is not installed now. It's in the storage because we don't have a spinnaker or a Code Zero to use it with. On the hard bimini that covers our cockpit, there is an array of solar panels totaling about 800 watts, which keeps our batteries charged in a sunny day and also in a cloudy day like today. Also, we have a gutter system for rainwater collection that leads to two spouts aft. They can be connected to a couple of hoses to fill our freshwater tanks. The nice things about the sailing system is the self-tacking jib that by sliding on this track allows you to tack upwind just by turning the wheel.
Now that you've seen the systems, we'll show you how she's performed in a few different sailing conditions. The Seawind 1600 is built as a luxury performance cruiser that can sail fast in all conditions. Of course, that's given the proper sail setup. We've been sailing with everything from 6 to 27 knots of wind so far. The polar diagram shows the max hull speed is 23.1 knots at 110 degrees with about 27 knots of wind. After setting the sails, the autopilot is a great tool to help you fine-tune the sail trim. The nacelle of the boat is high enough that noise from the slapping of the waves isn't an issue. Recently, we sailed to Biscayne Bay from Fort Lauderdale and back. On the way down, the wind was from the north and was a steady 20 knots with gusts to 27. We had 2 reefs in the main and 1 in the jib when the stronger gusts were coming through. We averaged 10 knots, which is what the polars predict. On our way back north, the wind was from the south at about 16 knots, so we pulled out the Jenniker for the first time. We recognize we have a lot to learn and are looking forward to sailing every chance we get. While Yoda enjoys being on the boat, she's still getting used to sailing and wants to be next to someone at all times when we're underway. We are fortunate enough to live in South Florida where we can sail year-round, and we look forward to sharing our journey with you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ding the bell for notifications. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope you tune in next week.